A lot of the general public don't really understand what we do. They think you get like a homeless person comes into the office, we give them magazines, they go off and sell the magazines and then maybe bring the money back if they might want to. They don't really understand what we do. Do you know what I mean? They don't understand that it's a social business. They don't understand that each individual has to buy the magazines up front. It's like their own small business. They go off, they work the pitch, wherever that is, in the town centre, out of the town centre, in a village somewhere in Devon. You know, they don't really understand about how the big issue works.
Big issue, good afternoon. Yeah, we went down in the daytime and met them because they've got this like tour bus that they're taking round. We sold 74 mags. What you want to do is try and get to the venue and see if they'll let you have a table in the foyer. Cheers, pal. Ta-ra. Ta-ra. Sorry about that.
Sorry. What was that thing all about?
Madness are on the front cover of the magazine this week, and they've arranged for us to go and sell that magazine at their concerts.
I was able to work at a Madness gig the other night, and we took 2 big issue vendors there, which was really, really good. It was really good for myself, as I haven't done it for a while, to stand back from a big issue seller and watch the whole kind of sales process, you know, watched how the general public interacted with the big issue seller, watched how some people were quite disrespectful towards the big issue seller, but not actually to him.
9 out of 10 times, if you ask them politely and properly, or make people laugh, they don't care, because they're like, you might even make some people who are really looking down because of the day, and you tell them a joke, cheer them up, and it swings both ways, do you know what I mean?
Other people perceive big issue sellers maybe in not the best possible light. They look down on them as if they're lowlifes and they're no good to society.
Guess it's a cold day, it's not very nice, you know, he's kind of out in all weather selling a big issue, and he doesn't really feel that good about himself, you know, his self-esteem's on the floor, and then you've got someone that walks past, you know, and they just go, I'll just get a fucking job.
People's perception of street homeless people is that why don't you just get a job, or, you know, if they could just go and get a job they wouldn't be homeless. So
all I expect at the end of the day is either a yes please or a no thank you, and that does for me.
Most people think we're below them because we've ended up on the streets. Anyone could end up on the streets, whether it be normal people, whether it's people with children. It's like a disease. When you're on the streets and you've got nothing, no money, the big issue seems to be the only way out. Yeah. It's a lifesaver, you know what I mean? The money we get from it proper pulls you through sometimes.
But I'm also like a tourist information guide. You know, I do a lot of other things as well. So I feel it's really important. And all the time I feel like that, I feel like I'm doing a good job, and I enjoy doing the big issue immensely.
Each individual vendor is basically a retailer of the big issue magazine, okay? You know, our magazine isn't sold in WH Smith's, it's sold by a vulnerably housed individual on a street corner in a town centre, a city centre, okay? That's the only difference, is the way that the magazine is sold.
It's quite simple, really. Obviously, everyone who's on the streets knows about the big issue. 90% of people have heard of the big issue.
Someone will come into the office and say, I'd like to start selling the big issue. So we'll get them an appointment with Simon, my colleague, and they'll go through the induction process with him.
It's about collecting the information, the name, date of birth, sex, ethnicity, drugs and alcohol, mental health problems, and look at all these different problems. Okay, that's what we do.
We do have a code of conduct which we ask all vendors to adhere to, which covers basic things about their behaviour when they're out selling.
You know, I sort of say to the guy, you know, if you wanted to buy a pair of jeans and you went into the jeans store in Bournemouth and the guy was drunk, obnoxious, racist and homophobic towards you, you wouldn't buy the jeans, would you? And they're kind of usually, yeah, you're right, no, I wouldn't. Most of this code of conduct is really straightforward. It protects the big issue vendor and it protects the big issue. Them's the rules.
Then, okay, we get them a badge. They start off with a 2-week temporary badge. We get them out on a pitch selling, get them kind of a bit of sales training, seeing how they're going with it, because at the end of the day it is really cold, hard sales, what they're doing.
And then most of the time I signpost to specific agencies that deal with the housing, the mental health, the homelessness, the bereavement, the drugs and alcohol, and get them to the appropriate service, okay? And then monitor that over a 3-month period. So every 3 months we hook up with the vendor and monitor about how this is going, is it not going.
So after 2 weeks they change their badge to a green badge, which is a 3-month badge.
And send you out there to a big mad world to try and make some money.
as and when they require magazines, they can come back to the office and buy them from us, take them out onto the street and sell them for a profit.
So the 75p that you make from the magazine helps you in all different sorts of ways, whichever way you want to use it, whether it's for buying some clothing or buying food or whatever. Yeah, the choice is really up to you.
At the moment we've got 3 Christmas editions which are £2 to the general public, and the vendors buy them for £1. So the vendors do end up making more money. It's high sales this time of year. You know, some of the vendors could be selling 20, 30, 40 mags a day, and more sometimes, really, you know. So you think, you know, some of the guys could be earning sort of like 20, 30, 40, 50 pound a day, really, which really helps them kind of, you know, over the Christmas period, you know.
Because usually you sell about between 10 and 20 a day. So I've done 25 today, I think, because it's so cold, everyone's feeling sorry for us. It's bloody beautiful. I'm freezing, mate. As you know, as you can see, the wind is the chill factor, do you know what I mean? That's what's the killer. But it's better than doing nothing, that's for sure, getting some money coming in. We're lucky in Bournemouth because it's always a tourist place, because it's holidays. Everyone's coming and going, so there's always a constant flow of customers. But if you go to little villages or towns, there's only one set of people that come through, so you're a bit restricted on how you can do. As a rule, they work their nuts off, stay late during the week before Christmas, and they open straight up on Boxing Day. And the only day they have off is Christmas. So, I mean, apart from that, obviously, we come here sometimes, there's food and things like that. The big issue as a whole plan is there to provide money. Obviously, there's not enough for them to hire a big hall and let people stay over Christmas and all that. There's other charities that do that. I've been so long on my own, I don't really know nothing about Christmas, because I don't get no Christmas cards. I don't give any out. So really, apart from my nieces, if I went to London to see my nieces and my mum, I don't do that very often because it's just who I am. I'd rather be alone.